Okay, we're live. This is the very first Glowforge virtual meet and greet, officially, finally. This is something that we plan on doing once a month, so we could talk about any projects or any events or any things that we see that's cool or related to the Glowforge. So hopefully this will become a regular thing. We'll cover a bunch of topics, for example, tutorials or any projects or anything software related or possibly hardware related once we all get a Glowforge. It should be pretty cool and awesome. We have a couple people here. Ben.
Hello.
Rebecca.
Hi, folks.
And Philip.
What's up?
And I'm Mr. Eves. So how's everybody doing today?
I'm doing great.
I'm feeling good. St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
That's right. I haven't had any green beer yet, but that can be a little later since it's only 5 o'clock here on the west coast of California.
Oh, wow. Well, it's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here, so I've already partaked.
Now, you're lucky. You got enough time to continue.
True, but I can't. I have things I need to play with. I just finished my CNC, and I'm excited. So,
What kind of CNC did you get? I know we don't want to get into that too much, but
not yet built from scratch.
okay.
The big guy behind me is designed for 2x4 pieces of wood, and that's what we use for our craft show thing. But it can't handle aluminum because of the long span. Well, actually, one end is over here, and the other end is where the drill is. So It's kind of wibbly-wobbly when it comes to rigidity. The smaller guy is 12x12x6 with the rotary axes, and it's designed to be a complete torque monster. So it will handle aluminum like a beast. Or I hope, in theory. It looked good on paper anyway. Literally got the last screws in it about 20 minutes ago, tested the spindle, and here I am.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yep.
I'm getting close to doing a 3D cut with mine, hopefully tomorrow. Maybe this evening if we have enough time afterwards.
Cool. Aspire or?
No, I rendered in Fusion. I'm going to just generate G-code through that.
Awesome. Okay.
Push
Yeah,
it
just
up.
make sure you choose the Gerbil post-processor, or else bad things will ensue.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, new limit switches too, so.
Yes, homing is good.
Oh, good.
Homing is your friend.
No crushing things.
Yes. Well, plus repeatability. At least you have a known zero and all that good stuff. Which is kind of a good segue because we just all learned that the Glowforge doesn't have any limit switches, which that's kind of fascinating.
And what does that mean?
Okay.
I'm a newbie, everybody. I know very little about technology or CNC cutters or 3D printers. I just saw the Glowforge, fell in love, and that's why I'm here. So I'll constantly be asking questions like, what does that mean?
Oh, no problem. And you will learn. So homing switches are exactly that. It tells the machine a home origin, which is 0, 0, 0. So X, Y, and Z. So, well, it's probably reversed for me, but X, Y, Z. So typically there's a machine coordinates where on the gantry, for example, on my CNC, it's this far corner. But then you could specify a home point. So if you know, there we go, props. So if you want your origin point to be dead center, you could tell the machine its origin or home, or actually reference, is dead center. But you could also pick the bottom corner. So the importance of that is if you have a artwork or a piece or an object you want to cut out, you kind of want to know where it starts. So typically you want to start it in the corner, and then you know where it's going to cut out or burn out or laser out or whatever you want to do. This same thing applies to 3D printers, CNCs, laser cutters, plasma cutters, whatever. It's the same. Now you can run them without homing switches, which means that every time you start, you kind of have to tell it that this is 0. But it's nice to have a reference point where it knows absolutely this is 0, and then it can progress outwards from that. So if you cut something and you move the gantry out of the way, and you put another piece in, you could tell the machine to home itself, which will go back to that origin point. And as long as the new piece is in the same exact place and orientation, it'll return to that spot and continue, which is awesome for tool changes. So you make the machine move out to somewhere, change the tool, put a new tool in, then it goes back.
Yeah, thank you.
And what the limit switches do is tell it you can't go any further in this dimension. So you don't have a motor burning itself out or ripping up your belts once it gets all the way to the side or all the way to the top or
Yes.
wherever it would be going.
It's like a traffic cop. Stop. You can go no further. And it could be anything. It could be like a little mechanical switch, or you can get fancy inductive ones which detect metal. Or actually IR, where it's a light beam, and as it gets closer, it stops.
Yeah,
so you're
those are all
saying
my
that
3D.
Glowforge doesn't have these?
Nope. Well, this is what Mr. Dan says.
Yeah, so they'll be software based, I guess. The software will tell it to stop.
You could do soft limits, but it has to know an origin, which means it has to do something to know what the origin is, unless it's closed looped, which I don't think it is either. Closed loop means it's basically there's an encoder where it knows its absolute position regardless.
Right.
It doesn't have that. Well, from what we've gathered. We
Yeah,
don't know
perhaps-
anything for sure. But,
Yeah, we don't know anything. Perhaps it's using the camera to figure out where it is.
but how? Right? I didn't see any wonky QR codes or any barcodes or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I have no clue.
It's magic.
That's
So
right.
there's potential for it to be using the lid camera, unless there's some sort of registration points on the side that it can hit with that with the camera that's attached to the laser, the little laser.
Unless it's like UV markers, something that we can't see but the camera can see.
Well, I'm hoping that it'll know its position at all times because
Yeah.
that makes it a lot more comfortable in any type of Cartesian device.
Yeah. But I'm sure all the magic is happening on the software end, I guess. It's like that device, you just walk up to it, plop something on it, hit go, and it just works, right? Guys like me, I care about that, but apparently it's irrelevant in this case. So
The real question is if the motion controller can't handle generating the movement waveforms, then how, what are they actually going to be using for homing in this situation? Because it's probably not controlled by the motion controller. So
you
that'll be
mean-
interesting to find out.
Oh, I see what you mean. Since there's nothing on board to actually, yeah, that's a good point. Because by the time it actually does home and detect home, it has to tell the internet this. I don't know. Magic, I tell you. Magic.
Yeah,
But,
we'll have to see if Dan will spill anything else on that one.
I think I was pretty specific about the question, but I mean, is it irrelevant? Probably. Is it sheer curiosity? Yeah. I
Already
just like
working on my hacked firmware.
that's true, and I bet you that won't come out for probably a couple months after the device comes out, which is understandable, right? They want to just get these things out of the door first before they worry about releasing firmware of any kind. But that should be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hopefully in June we'll all be excited, filled with glee, and showing off stuff.
So did all you guys order in the original pre-order?
Oh, that's a good point. When did you guys order? Yeah.
I ordered on the very first day. I actually had read about the Glowforge in a couple of articles, and I signed up early and was sent an email the day it was launched and just went in and picked it.
Wow. Okay, so you're the earliest of the group, I think, unless anybody else.
No, I think I was about 10 days in, so I'm about, I think, 1,000 or 900 or something like that.
Okay. Philip?
Yeah, I'm way further in. I'm around, I want to guess, 4,000.
Okay.
So you guys are gonna have to share with me when you get your Glowforge because I'm gonna be down the line a little bit.
Okay. So I was day one at around 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but that's like several hours after. No. Yeah, that's several hours after. How would that work? Because I think it came out midnight the day before. A link on. No, I'm trying to figure this out. I saw a link on Engadget about it, and then Tested had something about it, and then my wife found it first. And then by 9 p.m. she sent me an email saying that she ordered it. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I wanted to
I mean-
order on the first day, but I had to get some funds in place before I could figure
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it's not a small endeavor, that's for
And
sure.
did you guys get the basic, or did you get the pro, or?
I went all out, man. I hate having the, I hate feeling like I don't have enough, and that if I could have just paid a little bit more, especially since if we bought it during the pre-sale, you get it at such a reduction in price. And of course, I played the hell out of the referral game. So
Yeah,
I went for the
I got
pro.
the full pro as well. Mostly because I live in Canada and I wanted the filter so I don't have to open the window in order to filter fumes out.
Oh yeah.
I started with the basic, and since I'm in Southern California and it's been a lot hotter than it usually is, I grew up in this part of the world, and I was worried about the Glowforge overheating because my house will regularly be over 70 degrees, and there was some type of 70-degree threshold that was discussed in the forum. So I upgraded to the Pro, and then I got the filter.
Basic,
Wise
no
choice.
filter. So,
What'd you get, Eves?
basic, no filter.
Basic, no filter. I returned my filter after I upgraded the Pro because I'm just going to vent it out the window. That was an extra.
Yeah, and I ended up doing that too. So I have a spot for it. I already have the exhaust. It's already going to the roof, and it goes across. And the way our house is, that we already have an exhaust fan for the attic. To the left of that, I just have a little, basically a flap, just dryer vent flaps that you see, and then I have a charcoal filter that's just right before that. So just in case, if it's clogged on one end, it doesn't just fill the attic with fumes. And then I also have a booster in between, because I think beyond 7 feet, you need a booster.
Yeah, I think most of the time I'm going to run it without the filter. During the summer, it's only in the winter when it gets really cold I'll probably close the window and use the filter.
Yeah, I got a midway stopper. It's like a weighted stopper, so it's basically I have the hose and then the booster and then the booster and then the flap. So when the booster turns on, it pushes the flap and then it pushes out, and hopefully when the flap closes, all the cold air kind of stays on the outside.
Oh,
Yeah,
one
well,
of the,
go ahead.
okay. I was going to say one of the reasons that I went filterless is because I live in the South, and first of all, it's really humid down here, and it's really hot during the summers. And I figured if it was pumping air down into the filter, which sat underneath it, it's going to increase the running temperature on it a little bit more instead of just pushing that air straight out. And I don't have to worry about wintertime.
That is true. I wonder if it increases the ambient temperature in the room when you're using the filter.
There's got to be a little bit of bleed. I mean, especially having it sit right above it. And, when we were talking the other day, it seems like there's some sort of interconnectivity to provide power coming out of the bottom of the Glowforge for the filter.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something where you can move the filter to another location and just run a hose into it. I think it has to sit underneath it.
No, because, well, I'm not sure. Once again, this is all speculation, but didn't Dan just kind of say there was a coupler from behind the unit into the filter?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is where's the interconnect for the power, right? We don't know if it's a plug directly underneath it or a pigtail. Because somebody actually suggested mounting the filter outside of a window or something like that. I don't know if that would work. Not advisable.
I'll do it if I could.
So what are you folks going to make first with your Glowforges? It arrives at your house, you take it out of its box, it's shiny and new, you put it in the table that you already have prepared in the space. What's it going to be?
Anybody?
Oh, okay, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
First thing I'm going to test out is the whole sketching a doodle on something and then boom, something comes out. I think that's going to be its use case for the first couple days of just, wow, that's awesome. Once I get that out of my system, I guess, the first project I have with it is an acrylic insert for a IKEA lamp that looks like the Death Star, and you can open it and close it. So I had this mechanism that I drew out in Fusion that has a little tiny stepper motor, and then during the day it slowly gets bigger, and then at night it slowly closes. I was originally going to cut it out of plexi with the CNC, but with something like that I could do tighter or finer tooth teeth for the gear versus a CNC because the size of the end mill dictates how far in and how far out you can go. So I could do tighter tolerances and whatnot.
I think the first thing I'm going to do is I have a huge pile of cardboard. So I'm just going to throw a bunch of cardboard in there and see how it acts. After that, I have a billion things I want to engrave. I want to engrave my laptop. I want to engrave my phone. But I'm going to cut out some little templates on some cardboard to test that first. And then I'm probably going to go straight to leather.
Yeah.
That just looks so cool. Like, there's so many things I want to make, but hammering the stitch holes in it is so grueling. So, yeah, same thing. Have a big pile too. All the Amazon Christmas boxes.
Yep.
But, engraving my aluminum stuff and leather. And if I'm able to I want to make some aluminum hex tiles, some aluminum Catan tiles on my CNC machine beforehand, and then engrave them with the Glowforge. What about you guys?
Awesome. Ben? Oh, maybe Ben fell out for a second. I am actually going to do whatever Glowforge suggests. They said that they will have some basic things that people can try for the first time. Maybe that can be cut out in cardboard or something. Long ago, there was a discussion thread on it, and I'm hoping that the team is working towards that, because I feel like the Glowforge is a product that they tried to sell to basic skills computer users. And I wouldn't call myself necessarily basic skills, but I'm obviously not as advanced as you two are in using machinery and or software. So I'm hoping that they'll have some great tutorials and some simple things that they have lined up for us to print on that first day or second day.
Well, from what I can tell, they're trying to follow the Inventables model, so they're going to have a bunch of project templates that they're hopefully going to be keeping track of online, and people can upload and share those on their little template page. So.
Yeah, the catalog.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be interesting. Because it would be nice if they had like a featured artist of some kind that would make a tchotchke thing or something and do once a month or once every couple of weeks. That'd be kind of neat.
Well, I mean, they've been
Sorry, I
knocking out a lot
for a second.
They've been knocking out a lot of stuff on Laser Thursday, so hopefully they'll have all those plans ready to go for everybody when their Glowforges arrive.
When does Laser Thursday start? Because it is Thursday, and they are going to laser stuff this evening, I understand.
Well, it's Seattle time, so...
Yeah, so it's late.
Yeah.
Well, it's 5:20 here, so it's 5:20 in Seattle. So do they start at 6 p.m.?
Do not know.
I think everybody kind of hits the forums a little later, but, I've seen them. Dan's always posting, like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of other people. I almost called them out one Thursday because there wasn't anything, but then they posted 2 things, and it ended up being like 9 or 10 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah, Dan is a machine. That's crazy. I think he was posting on his vacation. Didn't he go to like Japan or something?
Yeah, I think so.
That's crazy.
I think so, yeah.
So sorry, my internet dropped out for a second, so I'm back.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
I can't answer Rebecca's initial question as to what I'm going to do first. And I think a lot, like Eve, it's going to be a lot of just drawing and putting things in the machine. Especially that my kids are really interested in this too.
People are falling out. I keep hearing a blip.
Oh no, that
was me. I was just sending a message.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's also my first time really in Google Hangouts doing something like this, so I'm not sure what all the sounds are.
Just broadening your horizons.
Yes.
That's right. The Glowforge is taking me so far already, and I don't even have one yet.
That's awesome. Okay, so what's the new hot topic on the forums? Did anybody see anything that kind of like want to deliberate or talk further about, or?
I've been
I
somewhat
will
out of the
tell
loop.
you, people regularly talk about things that are just a little over my head. And so they're talking about the specifics of this or that, kind of the way this hangout started. And I, asked you to explain. No, that's perfectly fine. You're very helpful when you explain those things to me. So sometimes people are going off on the special qualities of certain types of acrylics, or then there's the magnet sheets, and then, don't use oiled leather or something like that because it'll melt in the Glowforge. So I like it when the Glowforge team actually asks us all a question and then we start all answering. I like reading what everybody did. I liked reading what people plan to do with their Glowforges and things like that. I'm actually hoping Glowforge will find another question to ask the group as a whole.
It's really cool to see the collection of people that are on the forums. I mean, the specialties that people are in and what they plan on using it for. We've got doctors who make prostheses. We've got machinists. We've got artists. We've got teachers. We've got a whole collection of just like extraordinary people, and it's cool to see everybody kind of collaborating and throwing around ideas.
Yeah, it's a big melting pot. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's see. The only thing I see, well, there was the Skydog topic of basically the example of a company falling under, and their supposed technology, which is cloud-based, goes with it, and then that's why they did their out for the firmware. But that's kind of the first thing we talked about earlier.
I didn't see that one. The Skydog.
That's a little frightening. I've actually done a lot of Kickstarter campaigns, and I'm still waiting for my SOS charger, which you can actually buy on Amazon, which I don't think anybody's really buying, and I still haven't gotten it, and it's 3 years, and I don't think I'm getting it.
That sounds like the coolest. Those coolers. Everybody was supposed to get their coolers, and then they start selling them on Amazon before people got them.
Yeah.
No, it's one of those phone chargers where it's like a battery, and then you twist the thing, and it'll charge your phone. Because I do a lot of camping, and I'm usually in places where I can't recharge my electronics. So.
Yeah, it's always nice to have
Yeah.
an apocalypse-ready device.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to say, me and Kickstarter are pretty much done. I've been burned 3 or 4 times on stuff that's, everything's going great, everything is going great. Oh, well, we filed Chapter 11, and we have no money to give you, so peace out.
Well, the good thing...
I've had a few successful things with Kickstarter. It's hit and miss.
Yeah. Russian roulette.
Yeah.
Oh, I've backed a lot of Kickstarter projects, but I'm a lot more cautious these days about what I do fund, and I was really glad to see the Glowforge was kind of outside that model, and that's what made me jump on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish I'd seen it a little bit sooner, but I'd kind of been in the market for one, but everything that I'd seen that I'd wanted was going to be 15 grand, and then I saw the tested thing, and I was like, oh man, I can't hold out anymore.
Yeah, I was either going to do the K40 or build the laser saw, which is basically a large open source laser cutter. But if you go with the Chinese clone, I mean, they're inexpensive, but by the time you get done making it work, you're about the price point of a Glowforge or more. The laser saw pretty much starts at $2,500, $3K, and you have to assemble it yourself completely.
Yeah, see, I was looking at like an 80 to 100 watt, and I really didn't want to do Chinese because I went through that whole thing with my 3D printer. It wasn't Chinese, but it just,
no name.
It was a Kickstarter 5-nozzle printer, and it took a long time to get it even to the point where I could get it functioning, and to have something that's supposed to off the shelf just go, and it's more advanced than supposedly a lot of things on the market.
It'd be interesting. So when they do ship and they do arrive, I want somebody to do a picture of it arriving on the front doorstep, like literally UPS guy, FedEx guy drops it off, them taking it to where it's going to be, and time how long it takes to get it out of the box, plugged in, associated to your account, and then cutting something.
Oh, I work from home, man. I have cameras sitting around. I'll stream it live.
Seriously, because if you get an X-Carve or anything, there's you're not using it that day. right? Because there's so much other crap you have to do. I'm kind of curious to know. It's like you buy a phone, you take it out of the box, you drop your cinnamon, you pull your contacts over, and your phone's good, right? But this would be the first device I've ever purchased where there's not really much assembly required, and supposedly you can use it in minutes. So.
Yeah, Rebecca, you got to. I think you need to take up the challenge as well.
You know, I was thinking about it, but isn't it over 50 pounds? I think you'll just see me like tugging on it and pushing it and rolling it into the house.
That'll make it even more entertaining.
Yeah, no. I'm going to have to get my partner to help me see if I can sucker him into it. Hey, he's already allowed me to keep bees. I have no idea what's coming when the laser comes.
Let's see. What is the gross weight of the? He actually said what the shipping weight was too.
Yeah, I think it was.
Is it really 50 pounds?
It was something like that. It was between.
I thought it was.
Wow, that's. I mean, you know what's hilarious too? It's like you see the picture of the Glowforge, in your mind you're thinking inkjet printer size, and then there was a picture of Dan with his head inside of one.
Yeah, I was the one that posted that thread. I was like,
and then I went, wait, let me look at the dimensions again, and it's 38 by 21 by 8.5. 38 is freaking massive. That's
it's a big thing.
It's not small, so yeah. When you said 50 pounds, I'm like, is it really 50 pounds? But yeah, it probably is.
Yeah, and I think the filter adds another 20 or 30.
Wow. So no cheap desks. Make sure it's nice and sturdy.
Yeah, I'm hoping my IKEA bar table holds up.
I'm using a hacked IKEA table too. I have an IKEA top and then different legs on it. But literally, there's like 1.25 inches of space on each side, and then 3 inches in the front. It's like it's perfectly made for it.
Nice. Actually, I think my table's right behind me. Can you see a table?
Yes, I can see a table.
See a table.
Kinda. Yep. That's it. But maybe it's too high. I think it's 32 inches off the ground or something, kind of. Counter height?
Mine is kind of tall too, but I figured I'll be standing in front of it, not sitting in front of it. So.
I'm just wondering if I'll be able to see over the top or something by the time I get it with the filter. I don't know.
Oh yeah. So it's like 7.5 plus 8 inches. So 16. That's not bad. Or 17.
All right. So I'll put away my step stool. See that button, you know?
That's funny. That's funny. Let's see. Well, we pretty much covered all the agendas, it looks like. Unless anybody else have any other topics they'd like to bring up.
Back to the firmware issue, because we didn't really go into that in any depth, but it's nice that they are releasing that in OpenGPL, and that we're going to have the ability. I mean, there's been discussion that we will have the ability to flash it if we do want to. Even though it'll void the warranty, I mean, that's a nice, somewhat open stance to have.
An escape hatch, as Dan likes to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel a bit more comfortable knowing that it's there. I'm not going to be the one who figures out how to do it, but knowing that someone can figure it out, and then we flash it if anything happens to Glowforge, it makes me feel good about it.
Yeah, there's some complexity there, though. But yes, at least there's an option for that.
Well, there's complexity, but there's about 10,000 of us, so surely someone will figure it out.
My new cat is crawling into the sink right now, and I can't even get over there to get her. You know, she's just really pushing the limits. Just thought I'd let you folks know there was a little, you know, airtime. Get out of the sink, hey!
Choices were made.
Oh.
No regrets.
Hey, I'm committed to the Glowforge. She listened to me, though.
You gotta be persuasive to have a cat listen to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. She listens to everything I say. Hi. She only sits on a blanket that I tell her to sit on, and she comes when I call. And when I say go outside, she walks to the door. Best cat ever.
Wow.
But that has nothing to do with the Glowforge, and I promise not to put her in it.
Get in there, get in there, get in.
So, do you guys have experience using any of external editing software, or do you think you're just going to go straight in drawing? onto objects? Are you going to, you got Inkscape, or are you familiar with Illustrator or anything?
I'm glad you asked the question. I was going to ask you.
I am going to copy some design I like that, of course, is open source and free and we're allowed to use. And then I'm probably going to go from there. I haven't even learned to Inkscape yet or barely dabbled in Fusion 360. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to draw something or have a child draw something because it'll probably be better than what I can draw. I am going to copy some design I like that, of course, is open source and free and we're allowed to use. And then I'm probably going to go from there. I haven't even learned to Inkscape yet or barely dabbled in Fusion 360. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to draw something or have a child draw something because it'll probably be better than everything.
On the webs.
Wow.
Copy some design I like that, of course, is open source and free and we're allowed to use. And then I'm probably going to go from there.
Where is that coming from?
Where is what coming from? Everything was just frozen for about 2 minutes on my screen.
So we literally got an echo of everything you said after you said. That was hilarious.
Yay. I'm so glad you're recording this. That's rad.
So what about you, Ben?
Well, I've been using SketchUp for years, and lately I've become a little bit unhappy with it, just that it's not as flexible as I want it to be once I want to make modifications. So I'm starting to look at other things, and I started looking at Fusion 360, and I chose that one because it's free. That's the only reason I chose that one, but it seems to be going okay. But I don't know if you guys have any other 3D software recommendations.
Well, I just started using Fusion 360, and I like it a lot. I've been able to do a lot with it so far, and Eve's runs a business off of it basically.
Okay.
I think I'm wondering how much we can really do with the Glowforge, though. I think it's more 2D oriented. And
no, because you could take something that you made in Fusion and then dump it into Make 123, and then you could slice it and then cut it out into like the globe. Remember the globe that they did?
Yeah.
So
I guess you're right.
Yeah, you could do a solid and then take the solid and dump it into another piece of software and go from that. But my favorite thing about something like Fusion, if you're flat packing something, you can assemble the flat pack into Fusion and then make sure the tolerances and everything will fit. Then cut it all out and you don't have to worry about crap not fitting.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
That's what I do now with the furniture I cut out for this guy. I completely assemble it, look at it, spin it, okay, good, flatten it out, press the go button.
Yeah, that's what I do as well with Fusion, or that's what I did with SketchUp. I would assemble it all in 3D, and then I would kind of flatten each face and then cut that out with the laser cutter. And I'm looking to do the same thing with Fusion 360.
Yep.
Apparently, you can take some of your sketches and export them as a DXF or something. So, so I'm looking at that avenue and seeing if that's going to work for me or not.
Yeah, and there's a couple new, I don't know how, well, there's a couple new features in Fusion, too, that they added with the SketchUp stuff, too. SketchUp, I'm sorry, Fusion. I was thinking about SketchUp. I'm not a big fan of SketchUp. Fusion. That's really nice with the, for example, if you bring in an object that is not a solid or parametric, so for example, you grab something on Thingiverse, you can import it, you can convert it into a body, and then once you convert it to a body, then you can actually create a sketch on top of it, and then export that as a DXF, and in theory, you could put that on the laser. And once again, if it's a 2D object or a 3D object, you can do whatever the heck you want with it. So, for example, this can of cutting oil or whatever, if I wanted to make a 3D model of it, I would import it like this. It would slice it vertically and then cut it out in acrylic, and it would look exactly like this top to bottom, except with, I don't know, 60 pieces of acrylic. But you could do something 2.5D and make it 3D if you wanted to. It's pretty cool. And the thing I really hope that they get working, which they've kind of slightly touched on, it was actually varying power. Like they had the acrylic pyramid that they showed a while back.
Yeah, you're talking about grayscale engraving, and that's what I can't wait till they bring out some more details on that, because that's where I really want to.
Yeah, and that's probably an Illustrator thing. Or did they say anything about an Inkscape plugin? They probably are doing it.
Yeah, Inkscape will work as well.
Okay, so yeah, that'd be really cool to do a relief pattern in acrylic. Holy crap, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, because you know it's going to be consistent.
Yeah.
But you can actually, I plan on modeling quite a good bit of stuff out in 3D and just have it converted to grayscale.
Okay.
Because I think that I actually used to do that a long time ago. You know those pictures you have to kind of like cross your eyes.
Yeah.
3D.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
same concept. You make it the same exact way. And so when I was little, I used to make those all the time. And so I got the process down pretty well. And just to be able to take 3D models and stick them into something like that is really pretty simple. And my
So
mom's building a new house in the mountains, and I'd love to make some really cool engraved stuff for like trim panels and things.
I wonder if you took an image and you broke it up and you took red, white, and blue acrylic, translucent acrylic, and transposed them on top of each other. So same way if you look at your monitor or your screen now, there's these really tiny pixels, and it's red, green, and blue sitting side by side. You're doing the same exact thing except with acrylic that you could see through. I wonder if you could make some sort of weird kind of 3D glasses type hologram type color thing with that.
I think somebody's put one of those on the forums. It's they did 3 pieces of acrylic RGB.
Really?
It shows a full color image. It doesn't move, of course, but it's
Oh, I'm talking about the type that when you do this, it looks like it's staring at you.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Those are the reverse perspective. Those are cool.
Yeah. But wow, okay. Well, I obviously missed that on the forums.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to experimenting and trying all these different things, and yeah, there's so many ideas that are going to come out.
Yeah. It's going to be ridiculous. If they ship in June, 1 to 2 weeks in from June, everybody and their mother is going to ship or post a "Look what I did" post, and it's going to be ridiculous for probably 5 or 6 months. And there's going to be things that we didn't think of that somebody's going to do, and it's like, holy crap, why didn't I think of that?
It's funny because one of the concepts that I come across on a lot of the other forums, like a member of Pepicora forum,
Yeah.
which would also be great for Glowforge, is anytime anybody posts anything, somebody's like, "Do you have the source file for that? Where's the source file?" So I'm wondering like how much that's going to happen on the Glowforge forum. It's like, oh,
Well,
that's
you have the
cool,
community
but
page.
cool because of the source file.
It's just like Easel on Inventables, right? You can actually dump the project into Easel and then dump that link into the forums. I don't know how often people do that, but and that's kind of an interesting topic in itself. Is like if you're an artist and you want to share it, but not necessarily share the source. I mean, people are going to frown upon that, of course, but it's your intellectual property, technically.
Right.
Yeah, that's something I've actually discussed in the community, in the forum, that I'm going to want to be able to share some of my artwork. But again, as you say, don't share the source, or not necessarily share the source so people can reverse engineer it and copy it and change it. And so
yeah, and that's kind of
we'll see how.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, that was actually me. I said I think there should be permissions on, even on a per user basis. You can say, across the board, I want to allow people to print this, but I don't want them to allow them to be able to download the design, or say I'd like to give X, Y, and Z the ability to download this design and modify it so that they can share it. Just give out certain different levels of permissions to allow different people to do different things with it. And I think that would allow a lot more flexibility, and people would be a lot more inclined to post and share things if they had that amount of control on it.
Yeah, and it depends on the complexity of what it is, because somebody, if they have the know-how, they'll clone it anyway, even if you don't give them the permission to clone it.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate side effect. Yeah. So I just don't. I wish that nobody would do that type of a blank move. That, hey, look, I made this awesome lamp, and here's the view file, and then an hour later, somebody, well, here's how they did it.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of screwy and not fair.
Lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the guy who posted that the edge-lit acrylic things are patented and nobody can make them or sell them or something like that. That's absurd, because that's one of the most common things people make on laser cutters.
Yeah.
It's not going to stop.
Yeah.
Oh, that's strange.
Okay.
So you can't hear Ben, Rebecca?
I cannot hear Ben, but it's really fun to watch Philip and Eves respond to him.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Very
it's
good.
all right. Technology is awesome.
Mr. Ben, are you still there?
I am still here. Can you still hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, we
I
can.
Okay. I'm not
Nothing,
using my
Rebecca.
normal laptop. I'm using
I've got
my daughter's
nothing here,
laptop.
gentlemen.
That's awesome.
need some sort of hand signals.
I don't even have the camera working at this point.
Ben's talking.
That's awesome.
Everybody fine.
Well, I think we hit a lot of good little topics and a little couple tangents, which is good. That's fine.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts or things that we should think about for the next call?
Yeah, if there's a number of people watching and they have something they want us to go over, maybe we can put a forum post out and have a list of topics that maybe people want us to discuss live, or start a public list somewhere where we can get some interaction that way.
Sure. We're open to community questions, obviously. Well, thank you, everybody. That was productive and that was good.
Hey, thank
Thanks
you.
Thanks for setting it up, Eve.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I'm glad this worked out.
Yeah, it did.
Finally got one in the bag. Awesome.
Yeah. So we're going to try to do this monthly, like Eve said. And if you like it, let us know. We'll continue doing it.
Awesome. All right. Adios.
Adios.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye, guys. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Same to you.
I'm going to go drink green beer now.